Well, we just got on our way. I'm going to go up there, down there, deliver, come back up to where I just was and go fuel. And then plot where I'm going to go to stay for a while. Alright, we're going to get off, go to our delivery. Hey everybody, well, unloaded on our way up to fuel. He said I can go in any time. I can go in now if I wanted to, so I'm going to go up and fuel, pull over to the side, program the address in, and get going. Then we'll see how long it takes them to load me. Don't have a clue what it could be. Where it's going, it could be just about anything. Alright, we're all fueled up. Headed up to make this pickup. Man, I just got rid of all these carrier amps. And sure enough, this load, they want me to use one of the ones I already had installed in there. Ain't that a pain? Just my luck. Probably should have left them all on. I'm sure at some point I'm gonna end up installing them all back anyway. I don't understand why they can't all standardize themselves to one or two of them. A carrier link, and what's the other one? There's another one that, I don't know, 25% of the broker loads I had using, and those are pretty nice. The only pain is now when I get there, I've got to remember to hit that I arrived for their app and then ours. Well, if you ever come to this, it's Quaker Distribution Center at, what is it? Let me look. (2101) Daniel Dale Road in Lancaster, Texas. If they tell you your pickup time is whatever, especially if it's later, like mine was 6:30, but they said I could come early, and they didn't think it would take that long to load me. Well, it's Pepsi, so they hold to their deliver pickup times. Now I got here, I don't know, almost noon, but my pickup time isn't until 6:30. So they said I could just wait in the yard. I just can't go in until 6 o'clock to check in, and then they'll probably give me a door assignment. But yeah, you might get lucky, but they said they can't check anyone in unless they're a half hour before their appointment time. So more than likely you'd be sitting at the like me, out in where they park the trailers and that, and then you can go in at a half hour before your scheduled pickup time. So just a heads up, so you know what's involved here. All right, see you in a little bit once we get loaded and we're leaving here. I already scheduled. I'm 86 miles away from the pilot that I reserved a spot, so I'll go there, do my normal 10 hours to get back on track, and then tomorrow I'll just run tomorrow and Sunday and I'm probably going to stay at that TA or the Loves right at the state line, and then this is the worst place. I finally check in, the girl's checking me in, all of a sudden she can't do anything anymore because they get logged out when they're supposed to quit. So then this kid comes in, jacks around for 10 minutes once he's logged back in again, and then he finally rechecks me back in, gives me a door. You have to drive a half mile around the building. There was somebody in that door. And I got to drive another half mile around the building, go back, tell them, because the day people put all their phones on silent, so it goes right to voicemail. So I tell him that, he switches that, then he gives me a new door, come back, and I've been in the store over 2 hours to load a truck. And I'm still waiting. This is the worst place to ever get loaded at. It shows Ryder doesn't, logistics doesn't know how to run a warehouse. Well, that's my rant. Hopefully I'll get out here soon and go over to the truck stop, and then tomorrow will be a better day and I'll run tomorrow and Sunday. Everybody, well, we made it to the truck stop. Sorry I ain't got a lot of road footage, but I didn't do that much driving today. And when I was coming here, it's dark. They don't have street lights, so
I was surprised. There was actually, I'm surprised these didn't get picked off first, because they're the closest to the door, instead of the ones that are along the left there. There's at least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 spots open, so I don't know if those are guys that are coming or if they're just open. All right, have a good night. We'll see you in the morning, and we'll see how far we can get by tomorrow night.
Good morning. Did my pre-trip. Finally was able to weasel out of my
Turn right
spot.
on Texas 11, then exit right.
Some guy was in there 30 minutes and still wasn't coming out, and I got lucky. The guy was steaming out the islands, so I was able to kind of go on an angle, pull off one of the islands.
Take the exit on the right toward I-30 East, then take the first right.
And weasel through to get to the scale. And it was 2,000 pounds, well, almost.
Turn right at the stop sign,
It
then
was
exit
2,500
left.
pounds over on my drives. So it was bouncing a lot. So I moved it up like 4 spots. So at this point, I should be fairly even. On my axles, and I'm still almost pretty full of fuel, so it's not going to change me all that much.
Take the exit on the left to I-30 East.
Once I top off. And it definitely pulls a lot better. So I'm over on my drives, like I say I need to be, but just not severely over on my drives. It's probably maybe 500 to 800 pounds over on my drives. So it accelerates a little better, it's not as bouncy, and it should pull a lot better. So I should get a little better fuel mileage.
Continue on I-30.
Alright, we're through past Memphis and we're 50 miles from, oops, sorry about that. We're 50 miles from the truck stop for that night. Did about 480 miles. Tomorrow got 460 left. Probably the truck stop where I'm going to go at. So I'm going to pull in, fuel, park. Play catch up from being up for almost 20 hours yesterday. It's funny, you get your body so used to a routine. Like for the last 3 years, it's usually been I go down at 8, I'm up at 4. The last couple months I've been home, I've been usually going to bed at 10, getting up at 6. So last night I go to bed at freaking 1:30, get up at 7:30. Just can't stay any longer. But sometimes it's, for me, now that I'm doing stuff, sometimes 6 hours is perfect. Other times, 8 hours is enough. So it depends on, usually by the 4th week, and when I do 5 or 6 out here, those last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks tend to drag, especially if you get a lot of BS stuff. If it's always something new, it isn't bad. But at GP, a lot of times he locked me into like these almost dedicated stuff. And one thing to run dedicated and be home every weekend, getting out of here, but to run dedicated in this and never go home yet, it gets pretty monotonous. I mean, I've run a few dedicated. I used to run 3 runs out of O'Hare to Rickenbacker. First time I was an owner-operator. And then I got switched to doing 2 runs to Memphis and 1 to Rickenbacker. Then I had one from, when we stopped doing FedEx, I started doing, well, not 100% stopped doing it, but we didn't get the runs out of O'Hare to Memphis, but we were getting Memphis back to O'Hare. So I used to do something out of Northbrook down to like Dyersburg. And what the nice thing about it is you can park in their parking lot. So I get my 10 hours there. I get my time off there, and then run over to Memphis. I get a couple hours there, and then run back to Chicago. I do that twice a week, and then then I think we're still doing Rickenbacker, so I do that. Then earlier in my career, I was working with, as a team, we'd run Chicago to Jersey and back, and then Chicago, Atlanta, and back. Did that for almost a year, and then one guy quit, and then we were doing Chicago to LA and back. For I think another year. But it was funny because you would have thought running along 40 wouldn't get changed. But I don't think they were enforcing chain laws back then that much. And I don't think we ever ran into a bad enough snow for the year half a year we did it, that we ever got shut down. Later now, across 40, they tend to get more snow. was, what, late 80s. Early 90s, maybe. I don't know if I ever told this story. When I was running that team, the first time we ran Chicago to LA with my regular team partner, we had a sign that if your shoes were, the bump was closed and you left your shoes like at the bottom, because we were on team in a single bump in the bottom, then you knew somebody was in there. Well, inadvertently, the guy I was running with shut the curtain, and he had a pair of, I think moccasins or something with him, and he ran in to go to the bathroom, and I thought he was still in there, so I took off. At the time, we didn't have cell phones, only pagers, so I get this page a half hour down the road from the guy we worked for. So I pull over, call him up, he goes, hey, you gotta go back to the last truck stop you were at, because my partner was there. So we had a good laugh, but I said, we set up this rule that you get out of the truck, then you leave the curtain open, and your shoes are missing. He goes, yeah, I thought I could make it in and out and go to the bathroom before you came out and paid for fuel. Because I want to say at the time, yeah, there was no card reader. I had a fuel card, but you always had to go in. But he never did that again. And I made sure I never did that. 30 or 40 miles down the road by the time everything went full circle.